The honest answer is I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to discover that myself. Uh, I think it is a little bit of my self-image to some extent. I see myself as a builder of, originally of things, and now maybe of, then of companies, and now of ecosystems. And there is some kind of there is this self-image that drives me to a point. Uh, but also, I think, off late, in the last 10 years, if I look back, I think there's another element that is driving me. So instead of this being outward directed, I think in the last 10 years, it's become more inward directed. And I'm finding that if I take on something, very often the limitations, these are self limitations. They are limitations, they're Sharad's limitations, they're my limitations. And over the last 10 years, I'm learning how to celebrate them in finding a self limitation, turn that into an act of terror, to turn it into an act of celebration, right? So that I find it, because if I find it, then I can overcome it, right? And this journey is very, very personally rewarding, right? And it's as much an internal journey now as it's an external journey. So I call it a self-purification process, right? So I'm now, finding that my motivation is about, finding these limitations in myself. So I'll tell you a story which kind of got me onto this journey. So I've always had this vision of myself that I'm a tough guy, right? So we go to CN Tower in Toronto. They have this glass floor, and I'm with my wife, and my wife walks over it, and I literally cannot cross it. And I've never ever faced this before, right? And so my wife gets to the middle of this, there's like a big carpet-sized glass floor, and she says, "Hey, you're having trouble coming over," and that kind of attacks me. And so I'm more determined to do it, but I just can't. And then finally, we spent 2-3 hours there. I first traveled on my bums there, and then I could crawl, and then I could walk. And even today, as I walk over a glass kind of a floor, which is just glass, something makes me uncomfortable. Now, I didn't know this at all, right? This obviously existed, God knows for how many years. I still don't know why it is there. But I believe this gives me the metaphor that there are these hidden things that are always holding me back. And when I discover them, that this is the case, because I'm trying to do something I've never done before, or, I'm trying to, deal with, I'm pushing myself outside my comfort zone, that gives me the blessing of knowing what these self-limitations are. And once I know what these self-limitations are, I can then deal with them. And if I deal with them, I'm purer than before. It's a self-purification process. So it's gone from being outward directed to more inner directed of late in the last 10 years. And that's been the journey, and I'm still enjoying it. And so that's what keeps me going right now.